I'll speak for myself. For me, it's been a huge surprise that things turned out this way. 090440889. Yes, the numbers to call to be on the show today. Is this a warning sign? Or you think, no, don't worry. I don't think it's a problem at all. I mean, Joseph talked about Foden to say that he was that guy who was stepping up. A few seasons ago, we were talking about him being player of the season. And now he barely starts. You bring in a guy who does really well, and people are asking questions about, do we really need the previous guy? He honestly is not doing anything. Because yes, there's a Ryan Cherki now. And there are questions about if Foden can continue. But yes, that's not the focus on the show. We're looking at Virgil van Dijk. And if you think what happened this season with Salah is a warning sign for Liverpool to react to. Okay, try again. 090440889. Yes, the numbers to reach us on the show today, and let's get the action started right here. Well, he may still be one of the best defenders in world football, but yes, some are saying that a whole lot in terms of the intensity of the league and what he gives, what is expected of a player of his quality week in, week out. Liverpool might be taking a risk. To see the guy who's 34 already, by the way, still did the backline for them. Honestly, I think it would be hard to imagine that entire backline without the man. In fact, yes, they conceded a lot of goals this season, but I still believe that the fact that week in, week out, Van Dijk was still there, showing up, captaining the side, you could barely think of a Liverpool lineup without him. I think he's played virtually all the games this season. And when you look at things like that, you begin to raise questions or concerns about, oh, what will happen if a guy like this suffers an injury or his form is no longer what it used to be, and then there are question marks around his form.
It's pretty much evidence. You have to deal with the inconsistencies of Ibrahim Konate. Who else? Joe Gomez. That's about everything from Liverpool defense. You struggle to find the names who can actually keep up. It gets one injury like this, I think it's done. Basically done for Liverpool. It's done for them in terms of achieving anything. It's done for them defending. If you have such a man that everybody seems to, he's good. He's a great defender, but the truth is, if he is still your top man, in a big 2026, and you say you want to win trophies with that, coupled with the fact that the rest of the guys are not going to show up. You got a guy for 50 million the other day, and it's barely available for anything. So I think for me, it's the signs are there. The moment that I think that's basically characterized Liverpool season. When they Salah coming in this season, it was basically Salah all through last season. So the one time he loses form, and it becomes catastrophe. So I think it is just most probably going to be the same issue. One, injury to Van Dijk, and you can kiss whatever the ambition is for this season goodbye. Yes, it's a short season and it's probably over. But the truth is, when you still have, a good number of games in front of you with Chelsea, even as bad as everybody thinks they are, probably one game win and Liverpool drawing or losing the next one, it's practically over for them. So I think it's a worrying sign, not just even for now, but going into the future, because it feels as if they have no backup plan. Just they were going to get Gehi, and everybody would have believed that this guy would be the one to at least
an experienced deputy.
Yes, at that point in time. So whatever happens to Van Dijk, you've still got somebody who would step up and do the work, because he's got that experience. He has the ability first of all, and all of those things put together. Obviously, yes, he still has a number of years for ahead of him to say he will be able to give what Van Dijk has done for Liverpool, but you were not able to. And when you're splashing money from on their attacking lines and leaving so much to desire at the back, so it calls to question what ambition the coach, the players, the team as a whole, and the board, the owners, what ambitions they have to have a sustainable future. So I think for me, if I were to be a Liverpool fan, I would be worried. So I think it's a worrying sign that is not good at all to hear to Liverpool fans.
Okay, let's of course see how things will work regarding that situation. For Liverpool fans, is this a valid worry for you all? Or you think no? I don't think it is. Wayne Rooney has said the Salah's case should be a warning sign. Speaking about the same matter, Rudy said the most difficult thing as a footballer is to know when you are no longer the player you once were. The striker who spent 13 years at Man United after joining them from Everton in 2004, Rooney played 559 times for United, scoring 253 goals and won 5 Premier League titles, plus the Champions League, Europa League and the FA Cup. However, he decided to move on in 2017 at the age of 31, returning to Everton. He said, considering my own career, similar to Rooney's situation, Salah will leave Liverpool at the end of the season after 9 years at Anfield. Hello. Okay. Try to reach us again. And yes, you could leave your messages on WhatsApp on 090-44,089. That's the numbers to call to be a part of the show today. Of course, let's take quickly another break on the show right here on your Champions Dial Sports Radio Brola FM and pay bills. When we come back, there'll be much more coming your way. Stay with us. Bristol already lead against Stoke City 1-0. Derby County have scored against Sheffield United. Ipswich are already ahead of the QPR, and Middlesbrough have taken the lead against Wrexham 1-0. We are only 7 minutes into the game. And yes, the goals are coming in already. Let's take this contribution here from Emmanuel. He says, for me, I'm worried about Van Dijk, in all honesty. Although he has not shown the signs, but he's no longer the vintage Van Dijk of old. Imagine the goals they have conceded this season. Van Dijk of before, there was even a time where the talks of his aura scared defenders. And now, he's just that guy. He's just a regular guy. Defenders run in behind and score goals. The way the season has gone for Liverpool, I'll be lying if I say the signs are not showing. They are in for a shocker if they are not making plans already. Okay. And looking at that team in general, I mean, the recruitment in terms of what they were able to do, they looked largely at the forward line when they were making those recruitments. Apart from Frimpong and Kerkesh, of course, who were also additions that they made to the squad in the defensive area. In terms of the recruitment that we've seen from Liverpool, is this a bit of a concern to say that the recruitment only focused on what was not exactly a pressing concern for them? Because again, even though they recruited in the forward line, nobody could match the Salah numbers, and that's why they are where they are right now. And then they are conceding goals, which is an early indication that there could be some concerns about what obtains in the back line as well, which they should address as well.
Yeah, well, I think 100% they have to. When they needed to, they did not. And I think a forward-thinking manager or a forward-thinking club would look at that back line, especially the centre-back role. In fact, the pairing, at one point, there was all the talks of Ibrahima Konate potentially moving to Real Madrid, and even though that did not particularly see the light of the day, but I think that should have been an indicator that you need to sit tight, you need to prepare better for the future. This Van Dijk would not always be there, it would not always be available, and when Van Dijk is not available and you have Ibrahima Konate saying he wants to leave for Real Madrid, and Real Madrid saying they want to probably get him, and there's a whole lot of drama about it. I thought that should have taken more priority. Yes, I understand the fact that you'd want to get a Frimpong, because you need to also replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, which it is fine, by the way. And then you also have, for me, maybe that Kerkes' transfer was not what they needed at all, because Tsimikas was not particularly doing badly. Somehow he was let go of, and even most times when they need saving, it has been Andy Robertson coming off the bench to somehow offer something from that wing back position, from that left back row, because offensively, Kerkes is not much of a threat as what Andy Robertson. Yeah, Andy Robertson, just like Van Dijk, has dropped in form. But again, I don't think that is. I don't think it is not traceable. Somehow Liverpool don't play the same kind of football, when these guys came in. But the truth is, as Andy Robertson still been able to do something, I'll probably take him in my team before I pick, a Kerkes. And that's why you see that most times when Kerkes runs out of gas, it's always Andy Robertson coming on, and you see his impact in games. So for me, it's a case of them investing not where where should be priority. Priority means you don't have to get another striker after getting Ugo Ekitike. You went for Isak, and if Isak had worked, maybe would have another, what's it called now, another conversation. But the truth is, I don't think in any word it makes any sense for you to go for, two potential starters as strikers, because at the end of the day, it's counterproductive. The time Isak actually came back into the team and he started to start games, Ugo Ekitike's game started to drop. His number started to drop, and you could tell maybe the value of what he brings, maybe because of the confidence he had, because when he started the season, he was scoring up very frequently, and then you just had to break that stride, and you see that the guy is struggling for confidence even in himself, and he's just does not know how to do what he used to do. So I think for me, getting all of those guys in at those points in time, maybe Florian Wirtz could excuse, because he's an attacking midfielder. You don't have plenty of such players in Liverpool at this point in time, save for maybe Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is a utility player. You can play him almost everywhere, and you actually need those kind of profiles sometimes, because if not for the fact that he's been deputizing in the right back role, it was almost non-existent at some point.
Yeah.
So I think it's a case of Liverpool just reinforcing where they do not actually need to, and then neglecting things at the back. And to be honest, I think next season might just be. I want to see what the summer has for them, or what they have for the summer, especially for the fans, and if they will be able to, arrest the situation. But I don't think it makes any sense. I don't think it's productive to want to go into the next season with that same back line and expecting that Van Dijk would, continue to, stretch himself, and Ibrahima Konate would somehow, perform some magic and out of the blues become one of the best defenders in the world to play alongside Van Dijk. They have to learn from this season, and they have to do better next season.
Okay, because again, some of the names are leaving. Salah is leaving, Robertson is leaving, Konate has not signed an extension. The indication is that he's going to leave. So maybe not entirely a new backline, but it looks like they would need some reinforcements in that place. And maybe, just maybe, what we have seen from Frimpong so far this season has not convinced us enough that Liverpool do not need a right back.
Well, I think more for than not is been injured. I think that could, but when it comes in as well, you also would understand. Okay, many of the guys who are not elite players, who are not, I wouldn't say it's not. It's another thing to say whether it's world class or not, but world class players don't need time to adjust. But this guy probably would need a bit of time to adjust, coupled with the fact that generally the team is not in the right dispensation. They are not doing well, first of all. So sometimes it affects generally the players, and how would they even perform individually. So I think you could tell. But some of the games he's played, maybe not particularly convincing. But I think if you have to, sacrifice one of the best attacking outlets of the team in Szoboszlai for him to come and deputize in that role, I think it tells the story, and maybe they need a little bit of reinforcement. And I think that backline generally, it needs what I call it reinvention. They need to what's the word now? To fortify it. They are not all of them are going to be available all the time. In fact, I think Van Dijk, the more time he plays now, the more that he gets more fatigued and probably gets tired, and the bones weaken, and he gets more injured. So it's what they have to prepare against. They need to sign more defenders in the summer. Okay,
now this one says good day, Baker and Joseph. I'm Chukwani Divine, listening from Awada Nobosi. He says, yes, Van Dijk is old, but he's still quite influential in the heart of Liverpool's defense right now. It's about time the club starts looking for a perfect replacement for him now, before his current contract expires next summer. Yeah, he would have been a good replacement for him, but they narrowly missed out last season. Okay, thank you. Thank you too. Well, did they miss out? I think they stalled on the deal. Yes. They stalled, and the Crystal Palace guys said, okay, you know what, it's even the last day of the season, we're not selling again. And the winter window came, and City paid, and is their player.
I think I'd even feel disrespected if as a Crystal Palace.
If you talked about me all
yes.
window long,
and then I see what you do with other other negotiations, you barely negotiated for many of these players. Vets kept on asking, "This is what I want." Okay, you bring in, and then they say, "Okay, no, we don't want that again. I want another, improved fee." You brought them. So I think for me, it's if you really need something, first of all, Guehi is a premium player. You pay for premium, just as you did for Vets, just as you did for Isak. You were willing to go all guns out for Isak. Keke's minimal negotiations as well, £50 million on the table. Frimpong on the table. Every other player. So you're coming from a player and you think you can, start to play around like that. I think it's, it was disrespectful, and I would feel the same way. Manchester City barely negotiated for the same guy. They got him for less than how many weeks?
Yeah.
They did. So I think for me, it's Liverpool just prioritizing what they do not need to, and it's a joke, honestly. And I say this because as a Manchester United fan, you have seen a lot of these kind of situations before. And to be honest, I feel hard, by as a Crystal Palace owner or whoever is negotiating, and I won't count them as a serious team. And my players off the market, whoever needs him will come pay the right price.
Okay, the right price will get you the player. And yes, we have been talking Liverpool and looking at what they could possibly do. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon. This is Wanak Moses calling from Asaba.
Okay, let's hear you now.
Yeah, as for me, so far, the number of years I've been a Liverpool fan, this is our worst recruitment season. I would lie to you. The recruitment was so poor. Tiny players that were not needed. The likes of Kekes was not needed. He had Robinson there, and we were still having clinicals there. And he sent clinicals on loan and not Kekes. Kekes has not contributed anything this season. The likes of Frimpong, I was thinking, okay, he'll be able to match it to Alexandra. But unfortunately, he hasn't done anything. He said, can you imagine we have a right back, two right backs on the bench, attacking midfielder of Domiso Sosa with playing right back. That's to say that the manager doesn't know how to do recruitment. Unlike Jurgen Klopp, who was the former manager. We don't even, Jurgen Klopp doesn't even, Jurgen Klopp, for Jurgen Klopp to spend the huge amount on you as a player, you're delivering, you're going to deliver. And he scouts for players that are not even known and bring them to Liverpool and they become stars. So far, this is the poor recruitment season I've ever seen in my life since I'm supporting Liverpool. And that is what is hurting them. Instead of them to find out to strengthen their defense, Virgil van Dijk is shadow of himself. He has been shadow of himself even from last season. Just that this season became more visible because Konate could not cover up the way he was covering up last season. So it will be very difficult for Liverpool to give us even the same performance they did last season coming next season, except they correct those errors. Bring the right players. When you're signing a player, sign in the right players. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that one. Pretty detailed. He said he's a Liverpool fan and spoke from the point of view of being a fan and the impression of what he's had with the team and the recruitments they've made this season. Yes, interesting one right there. Let's take more of them on the show. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Brother, greet you. Happy weekend.
Wishing you the same.
Yeah. Sanyalu is my name.
Okay, welcome.
You see, Liverpool problem is only of this our coach. My brother, the way you say this guy to Bayern Munich, Diaz is a very good attacker minded. No replacement for him. He went to go and buy two striker, almost more than 200 million, two striker, no better winger. Well, even though if our defense is not okay, when Jurgen Klopp was there, Jurgen Klopp believed that if you score me 2, I will score you 4. And at the end of the day, you will get the victory over you. But this one now, no sharp attacker, no good defense. How are we going to go? Your correct, we didn't call that's our number 3. If you just open, it's to just pull attack, boom, you will not look. The best route that he will have, badly, he has injury. Freeport is not up to. That is the problem. The problem of Liverpool now is our coach. The type of money they give this man, George Club never handled this money before in Liverpool. Almost £100 million. Upon that, we have struggled to make top 4. Crystal Palace beat you 3 times. Man City beat you 3 times. It cannot happen to George Club, lie. So God bless you. Our problem is, and it's worse. Over. Good day.
All right, thank you so much for that one, Sonyolu. Yes, interesting take right there, and putting it down to, at least the source, what he believes the problem is coming from, and not just we narrowing it down to, Van Dijk is waning. Of course, his powers are waning, to be honest. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
I greet you.
I greet you too.
Oh, Joe, the black boy.
Yes, welcome.
Me, I want to ask something.
What's your name,
Why
sir?
is it that, okay, these are the entire calling from Lekki.
Okay.
Why is it that most of all these clubs in England, they are not developing their youth players? Because as it is now, okay, Van Dijk is aging. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, sure.
Van Dijk is aging now. Maybe sometimes in a match, they will be playing for maybe maybe like under 20 or all these young guys. Then so that all these guys will be learning from it. But I don't know what the thing is, especially in England. You can see in Spain now, like Barcelona, look at Barcelona defense. Most of those guys, they are young. I mean, they are learning before you know, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, they'll catch up, okay, so person is reading it. Okay, let me defend. So like Van Dijk, the next season now, I don't think Van Dijk will know this season. Van Dijk will know before, we are not seeing the Van Dijk again. And that's what is really affecting them. Okay, look at this, Salah is doing now. Which year are they going to face is what Salah has done at Liverpool. So to me, they still have a lot of work to do. Well, maybe next season, if they can catch up, that would be okay for them. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for that one as well. He says, they said a lot, including what they could possibly do next season to turn things around maybe. Ipswich lead against QPR, 2-0. Yes, final day in the championship, and the table changes with the score line. Derby County still lead 1-0 against Sheffield United, and that puts them in playoff places. For Wrexham, all of that hard work will pale into nothing now. Is it going to change? 3 teams already relegated. Sheffield Wednesday, Leicester City, as well as Oxford United. Leicester are relegated with 44 points. Oxford United have also relegated with 48 points. Wow. These figures could keep you up in the prime. For life in the championship, it really can be tough. And yes, it goes on and on as the action continues right here. Your Champion Star Sports Radio Below FM. Gunners, it's not over till it's over. And it's still Arsenal all the way. To celebrate this great season, Chivas Regal, the official whiskey partner of Arsenal Football Club, is giving away an official Arsenal jersey signed by Victor Gyökeres, Martin Zubimendi, as well as Mikel Merino. Now, here is your challenge. Build your ultimate 5-a-side Arsenal FC team with any era of players. Yes, any era of Arsenal players. Invincibles, Emirates era, hybrid days. Mix it up. Be creative. Show us you know Arsenal. Drop your lineup in the comment section of the pinned post on the official at Chivas Regal NG page on X and Instagram. The comment with the most love wins the jersey. Hurry now and let's see who's really a gunner for life. I rise, we rise. Remember to drink Chivas responsibly. Yes, it is still football live as the action continues right here. Your Champions Dial, Sports Radio Real FM. Let's run through results in the championship right now. Middlesbrough lead against Wrexham, 1-0. Coventry lead 1-0 against Watford. It is goalless between Swansea City and Charlton Athletic. Goalless also Sheffield Wednesday against West Bromwich Albion. Southampton lead 1-0 on the road against Preston North End. I can tell you also that in the game between Portsmouth and Birmingham City, it is 1-1. Millwall against Oxford United, it is goalless. And the nominee for the Player of the Year, Femi Aziz, is on the pitch. I think he's Miguel Aziz's younger brother. Player of the season nominee. Yes, he plays for Millwall. Exciting talent. He's still 24. Maybe as we look at names who could possibly call for the national team, you probably want to add such a guy to show up the options. Ipswich lead 2-0. Hull City against Norwich City is goalless. Derby County lead 1-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City lead against Stoke 1-0. And Blackburn Rovers against Leicester City still goalless after 27 minutes. We're talking Van Dijk and by extension Liverpool Football Club. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay. I mean, when it comes to this ball thing, there's a level we take it, and we can argue for days. Like, why? Norwich have scored against Hull City, and yes, I can tell you that Wrexham have equalized against Middlesbrough. Good afternoon, Vicky and Joseph. For me, Van Dijk has given all his best since this past years. Liverpool needs a centre-back because it is affecting Konate. And the back line is leaking more goals. And more, not every time, yes, not every match, the two of them can give their best. With the likes of, with the likes of big names going, they need a new form of players coming in. I'm Ike Simon from Liberia. From Libya. Ooh, wow. Okay, thanks for joining the show today. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
My name is Abba. I'm calling from Olimbo.
Okay, let's hear you.
So I think that you should do more one person. You should get somebody that will compete with Van Dijk in that centre back position. That's the best thing they should do.
Now, who's on your radar? Like a player you think can complement him?
I think we should go to maybe Italian league or maybe Germany league. They can get somebody. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anybody maybe anybody that they want. Just get that person so that it can be able to help Van Dijk. So that the stress will be on.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that one. And for the Dutch national team, by the way, I think they've shown faith in a lot of some of the young guys that we're seeing these days. Yes, they have shown faith in a lot of these guys because, again, I was thinking Van Dijk and Ake and De Vrij. De Vrij is 34. Van Dijk is 34. Ake is in his 30s now. I'm not sure which figure in 30, but he's in his 30s. But a few guys have actually popped into the scene. Delete, of course, is having his best year in a while now. And
Ake is 31.
Ake is 31, okay. The likes of Juan Timber are still pretty young. I mean, maybe 25. Right back position, left back, centre back position, and all of that stuff. And Yaro Hato has been given an opportunity to play for the national team. He's been doing that pretty well. And let's see. I think even in the Dutch national team, after this World Cup, a lot of the guys will also say, you know what, we're done playing. And because they've also been giving opportunities to younger players, they've given opportunity to younger players to get into the team. It may not exactly throw them off balance for a longer time before they fix things. But again, there is a need to look at that and see how quickly that can be fixed. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, try to reach us again. And let's, of course, let you know that games, action across all the centers. Yes, Wrexham has made it 1-1 against Middlesbrough. Setting up nicely for an exciting playoffs as far as the championship is concerned. You never know. This looks like it's going to be really, really interesting. Of course, this will give us a bit of a semblance to what to expect in terms of the guys that will be coming back to the Prem. Joseph, real quick, looking at it. Coventry, well, they've dominated. They've won the league. They've been promoted to the Premier League. If you look at them in the context of the quality of what they are up against, one would say that this is a good side. But again, you consider how some of these teams come to the Prem and then they struggle a lot. I'm not sure, that if they don't recruit well, they will not struggle in the Prem.
Yeah, it's important that they've actually been. There's a few names they've actually been, trying to look at. Yet to see any Premier League, player for in terms of what the speculations are saying. But it is really important. You look at, what Burnley did with James Trafford when they came, and they basically still lost him. That was when. What's his name? Vincent Kompany, took over. Was that Burnley when they came, and then they got relegated once again before some of the players actually left. But it's not just about getting some of those few names. We had Southampton picking, I think, about 2 talents from Manchester City at that point in time, academy. One was a Dozier, and a few others. I think more than what the names are just about or where they come from. I particularly like what they did with the likes of Frank Onyeka, for instance. They understand that, okay, if we are going to, we need an upgrade in that midfield. We need somebody who has been in this. It was not part of that dogfight when Brentford actually, got promotion, but it was their first player, the first player they bought after they got promoted, and he actually was solid for them that season. And they recognized that, okay, this guy obviously has the experience. He's been in the Premier League. He's a solid player, on his day, and maybe he's what, we are what he needs, for him to probably revive himself.
There you go. Femi Aziz has put Millwall ahead in the game against Oxford United. It is 1-0. And yes, well taken goal. I think he's done a lot of goals this season, maybe double figures for a guy who plays on the flank. And then there are talks that he's also been nominated for one of the player of the season in the championship. At the time when we are not qualified for the World Cup, and we're talking about the possibility of playing an international competition, Unity Cup, I think.
Yes.
These are some of the guys you probably want to have on board.
Them, yes.
Yes, these are the guys you probably want to have on board, and let's see them first things first and know what they will be offering. Again, at the point in time where we are talking about our wingers not particularly delivering, I don't think, apart from Lookman lately, that I've been really impressed with what we do on the flank. I think Moses Simon is decent, but I don't expect that he's going to be giving
as much.
All of that top quality performances. Maybe once or twice we could see that, but on a consistent basis, I don't think so. Chukwueze has been too off and on for a long, long time, and I do not want to say that I am getting used to it, but it looks like that already. And I think for a kid who's also just entering his prime years, you probably want to look at the possibility of saying, you know what, give this kid an opportunity and let's see what he can offer. Again, but I don't make these decisions. Let's see how it goes in the future.
So this is Femi Aziz's 10th goal?
10th goal of the season.
Yes, and assist. He's had 7 assists as well. So
that's about 17 goals contribution. For a guy who plays on the wing, that's decent figures.
You don't get so many wingers who score a lot in the championship, actually. So most times it's always been the frontman doing most of the goals, and you can understand because they play pragmatic football. First of all, there a few teams actually do all of those things that we see in the Premier League. Try to structure things, more nicely, because that jungle is, if you don't eat, you get eaten, and you can understand why when managers, basically most times they play almost, identical brand of football, and for him to do double digits, I mean, it means it's somebody who knows, his way to go, and of course that importance in the team. So yes, I think it's important we have somebody like him who he can run at you. It is because I look at the way he scored the goal. He got the ball on the right wing. He took one or two steps across and basically run against his man, and actually came out before taking one to the top bins. In fact, he roofed the ball, so it just tells you the kind of decision he makes. And you want to have such such players. I think we need such players in the Super Eagles at this point in time. More direct and more. Just want to put the ball into the back of the net with some reckless abandon. So I think it's important that we have him. Hopefully everything comes right, and that switch is permanent, and then it gets called up, and we can see how it turns out for him.
Okay. Yes, of course, the action continues right here, Sports Radio Real FM. And yes, of course, we have been looking at Virgil van Dijk and the situation at Liverpool Football Club. We'll take our final round of calls and messages on this same topic, and then we can switch gears to others that we have on the show today. This one here says, hi, Football Live crew at DDG from Ayo Boy. Says, for me, I don't think Liverpool have more of defending. I don't think Liverpool have more of defending problems. It's rather attacking problems. I guess defenders come even better in their twilight. The saying that goes, the older the wine, the better the taste, is synonymous with defenders and goalkeepers, yes, in their old age. So if you critically look at the Liverpool team, you will discover that they have goal scoring problem, and they have defending problems. Okay, he says they don't score much goals, and the reason for that is not far-fetched. It is because of the sudden death of Diogo Jota and the selling of Diaz, coupled with the diminishing form of Mohamed Salah, really affected the team. Van Dijk still has what it takes to be a Liverpool defender. They should recruit good attackers. That Ekechike is overhyped and is not as good as Diaz or Jota. Okay. Okay. I mean, these are your thoughts. I mean, okay. I mean, it is what it is. Let's take some more calls on the show this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is a first-time caller.
Yeah, what's your name?
Uchenna Asamkonya from Imo State.
Uchenna, welcome for the very first time. Let's hear you. This is Football Live.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to speak on Virgil van Dijk and Liverpool concern.
Okay.
Yes, once upon a time, Virgil van Dijk was a rock in Liverpool defense, and we all enjoyed his game. Very potent and a player to be relied upon. But, of course, nature has caught up with him. You can't rule out some of the things we have seen over the few weeks and months and years, he has displayed. So I am suggesting that Liverpool should go to the market and get a very reliable central defender that can replace Virgil van Dijk. And the problem is, even those that have been partnering with him, people like Konate and Jones, they have not lived up to expectations. So that is why Liverpool needs to quickly go for a better replacement. They don't have much problem at the wing back, but central defense is where their issues lie. So Van Dijk, nature has caught up with him, and we just have to wish him well. Probably at the end of this season, you may hear that he may leave, knowing that his contract will expire next season. So that is my take. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for your take on the show. Yes, Football Live as the action continues right here. Going around the grounds once again. Let's take a look at results of games, especially in the Championship. Blackburn Rovers against Leicester City, still goalless after 41 minutes. Bristol City lead 1-0. Yes, the coach of that club is Roy Hodgson, by the way, 78 years old. Derby County still lead 1-0 against Sheffield. Hull City against Norwich is 1-1 now. Ipswich still lead 2-0 against QPR. Millwall lead by 1-0. Femi Azizi's goal against Oxford. Portsmouth against Birmingham is 1-1. And let's let you know that Wrexham have now taken the lead against Middlesbrough, 2-1. And Sheffield Wednesday, already relegated, they lead 2-0 against West Bromwich Albion. Yes, let's also let you know that Swansea City against Charlton Athletic is goalless. Coventry lead away against Watford, 1-0. And Southampton lead against Preston North End by 1-0. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, AJ.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Happy New Moon.
Yes.
And happy weekend.
I'm wishing you the same. Thank you.
More blessings to all of you at the street on this afternoon.
Thank you.
More
Thank you. Blessings to you too.
No other person than Nunspogba from here, local government.
Okay.
Afternoon.
All right.
Once again.
Okay.
Lady Van Dijk and the Liverpool. Van Dijk is not their problem. The man is putting his effort for the team to stand. Putting all his effort. From defense, he push attacks, he score goal, he make assists, he do a lot. It's not the problem of Liverpool. The problem of Liverpool is a fact. It's just like a fact. Like the same problem, those people that say that they are blues, the blues are missing, they are having. It's the same problem. Liverpool is better. But that is not their problem. Let them look for the condition of their problem and solve their problem. Their problem is not even coach. But the fact is for them to coordinate themselves and know how they are when this is their former captain, Anderson, he is there, pushing the team, putting them in order, coordinating with the players and the new coaches and brothers. So let them stop blaming that young man. Before they say that it's Salah, Mohamed Salah, now it's Van Dijk. Let them stop those things and look for their problem. Their problem is
what do you think the problem is? What do you think the problem is?
For me, being Nunspogba from here, local government, Manchester United fan, King of England, no man, no football. Their problem is attacking midfielder. Let them look for a good attacking midfielder, not Van Dijk. Van Dijk, that man is trying, both him and Mohamed Salah. So it's when these two players will leave that team, the team will be more water than the way they are seeing it now. Yes.
Okay.
Up United, my match tomorrow against Liverpool.
We'll talk about that when we get there, okay? We'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, so well done. Wrexham have been pegged back by Middlesbrough. It's 2-2 inside 45 minutes. Let's let you know that Coventry have also doubled their lead against Watford. 2-0. Sims with his second goal on the day. It's total dominance by Frank Lampard and his team. Let's take a break on the show this afternoon. Yes, we've looked at Van Dijk. Well, not exactly asking if you think he's the problem, but just in case, so you don't mix it up. Wayne Rooney said that the fact that Salah performed so well last season and nobody saw it coming that he was going to struggle this season is a clear indication that Liverpool should be looking at a possible replacement for Van Dijk, as he's expressed that going into next season he might suffer the same fate. Awana Moses from Asaba says to me, the biggest problem of Liverpool is not Van Dijk, it is Arne Slot. Van Dijk is now Van Dijk and Arne Slot. He says Van Dijk is now a shadow of himself and Arne Slot lacks a tactical know-how. This man won the league last season. Tactical know-how don't come up for window already. Last season we were all thinking, okay, the way he approaches the game, what's the weakness in this team? How good are they? And all of that. We don't throw away that one now. Tactical know-how is a stretch. Let's take a break. When we come back, there'll be more. And Football Live will continue on your Champions Dial.
Brila FM, a complete deal.
Here, your voice is always heard. This is the home of the fan, Sports Radio 88.9 Brila FM.
And yes, we're definitely taking you closer and closer to it and bringing you all the major talking points. You already know what is cooking on this side of the action. Onto this Football Live. Hotly debated topics, talking points, and news stories, score lines across all the grounds as the action continues. And yes, we're bringing it to you on your Champions Dial. In the La Liga, Villarreal against Levante, 25 minutes on the clock, no goals recorded yet. And let's of course go right into it, of course, for our second talking point on the show today. Now, Gary Neville has suggested that Man United should look beyond Michael Carrick in their search for a new coach due to the current landscape at the top of the Premier League. The former Red Devils defender believes that his old side have a genuine opportunity to win the title in the next couple of years due to the fact that other teams, other clubs have issues of their own to contend with. Carrick is seen as a strong contender to continue as a head coach in a long-term contract after steering the club to the cusp of a return to Champions League with 9 wins from 13 games at the helm. But United are still expected to consider all of their options before making an appointment. Neville's former teammate Paul Scholes also seems to have reservations about entrusting Carrick with the head coach role beyond the summer. He pointed out that Carrick has not had to contend with European football and that the fruits of his labor will make the job more challenging next year, or whomever is in the hot seat for Man United. Okay? Are these concerns valid? You needed a guy who could do the job. Man steps up, gets the job done, or has done a good amount of it now. The debate continues whether he should keep the job. And a lot has been said about if he should be the man to keep the job, if things should change. It goes on and on. Are these concerns valid? I think even in Nigeria or in your circle, wherever you are right now, there are people who have said, okay, well, given for rotational purposes the amount of time United have to play games in between and rest and continue, physically they've been better than most of the teams they've been up against. Those who have actually argued along that line or along those lines have said maybe when they have a pile-up of fixtures, we might not see the same Carrick everyone has been talking about, and for that reason there should be some question marks as to if he can be entrusted with taking charge of the job. Are these concerns valid, Joseph?
I personally think, first of all, the concerns are valid, but not from the angle of if Manchester United will be playing more games next season and then maybe that would be. I don't think that would be it. I don't think. He managed more games in the Championship. Yeah, maybe not. But you play more games because there are more teams to play against in the Championship than in the Premier League, and maybe not directly to say it can be substituted for whatever you have to play in the Champions League. But averagely in the Championship they play for. They play about 8 more games. Yes, than in the Premier League. So you can at least say, okay, Champions League, from the last what was it called now, the format and everything, they play at just about 7 games or thereabouts. Up until you basically win it to get to the final. But yeah, you still also have to contend with FA Cup and Carabao Cup, which it did, when it was at Middlesbrough as well. And to be honest, I don't even see from that angle. I think there are so many clubs who are playing the same 1 week game in the Premier League, and it's basically the same. Bournemouth, for instance, the likes of Brentford, there are also teams who are like trying to get into the European places, and I don't think it's a fair assessment on the team itself. But I think on the part of I think it will get to a point where people start to ask, is the job not even too big for him? I mean, for a Manchester United fan, you understand what happened when we had a certain Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think that should first of all inform of whatever whatever decision or whatever opinion that should inform the however you want to think of Carrick at this point in time. Yes, it can get you the required results just to stable the ship at this point in time. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer basically did it. Except for those who are probably had eyes on the top job itself. Will probably be okay. This is how we have to play. I don't want to step. I just want what Amorim did. And then we had Ruud van Nistelrooy as well. He stayed with it he's played 3 or 4 games before another guy was introduced. And I think you look at the trajectory of even Nistelrooy. He relegated Leicester City. It was under him. After he left Manchester United, he took the job of Leicester City, and Leicester City. Yeah, maybe there are some other factors that affecting the team itself. After he's gone, they are relegated to the League One now. So I think for me, you look at all the things put together as someone who has seen how these things turn out. It has never worked, not for a club like Manchester United. It gets to a point where would he be able to manage the same set of guys? Why did they leave Middlesbrough? They left Middlesbrough because it was ambitious. I wanted the new guys to come in, new players, to replace the older guys, who left, the likes of Chuba and some of the guys who made the work easy for him, and basically put their weight, and it basically they lost the core of the team, and you could not exactly replicate the same fortunes from the previous season. And at the end of the day, the relationship turned sour, and he was let go of. Trusting Manchester United in this regard to even buy what is required from the market. Do you think it is going to work? Have Manchester United actually turned that corner? Do you think they are that club? Yes, Amorim introduced a whole lot of, a wholesale change. How the outlook of the club, how they make the decisions, and say, okay, this is how we have to operate. We do not want to make the same mistakes from, as we did from the previous seasons.
Yeah.
And Manchester, do you trust the same board to keep to their words? Do they have the track record of saying, of backing managers with what they want? I don't think so. So for me, I think if Manchester United, at this point, just as the case of Nigeria, you have to force the hands of people who will make this change happen. If you get a world-class manager with the stature of Manchester United, say, for example, Luis Enrique, he would not want to take whatever you throw at him. He wants things to be done the right way. And for Carrick, yes, he has the bias of a club legend to attach to himself, and feel sentimental or emotional decisions here and there. And to be honest, he probably care more about what people think of the club outside of it, than what is actually going inside. So I just as many managers who have come in, most times I call them puppets because they just want to bow to the will of the board and not want to be truthful. So for me, I think Manchester United, they need a manager who is proven, first of all, about the results, about how they play. You also have to be in tandem with what they think, what you actually should do. We understand that, okay, this is what we need to do as a team. We want that identity. This is how we want to play. Fine. I don't know what the plan of the sporting director is, but the truth is you also want to win. And by winning, you want the best managers possible. Is Michael Carrick the best manager possible on the market? No. Is he still learning on the job? Yes. Is that the profile you want for a club like Manchester United? I don't think so. The Manchester United still have something to lose. You've been in the wilderness for more than 10 years now. Do you still have that time as what you had with Mikel Arteta? I don't think so at this point in time. So I think where Manchester United could have possibly built and paid the price of that patience with under Amorim, and once it was not achieved, I think the goal is clear. First of all, get the results right however you can. Whatever happens back room, it doesn't concern anybody. I think that's the direction. So for me, for you to achieve all of this, you need a proper manager who has done this before, who has won things before, who has taken charge of big profiles.
If I get you correctly, this should not be, sorry to cut in there, it should not be an emotional decision.
Yes, it should not. I think most managers, most fans emotional about this because yes, Man United had the theory.
Because there will be time when people would say,
what is he actually doing?
Is it fair? There will be time people will ask questions if it is fair for a guy who took United in January to Champions League places,
and
when
to
people
let
would ask
go of
questions,
him,
yes,
and get without backing him. There'll be plenty of excuses, and I think at this point in time, Manchester United do not need excuses. I think it will continue to hurt the team, and I think one leverage Manchester United has at this point in time is the fact that they still continue to do well in the financial markets. By the time you continue to miss out on, because I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took Manchester United to Champions League places, then later on Europa League, back-to-back finals, and all of those things. But the truth is, the performances continue to decline. So when the performances continue to decline, you don't get the money as much. The only thing working for Manchester United is the brand. So the more times you are missing out, this you have to think long term. And when you're thinking long term, you want to, maintain the same performance over time. Minimum is qualifying for the Champions League, and then you can go for the big trophies. But at this point in time, you need somebody who has done it before to, take the team back to where it used to be, and of course, make the right decisions recruitment-wise, and everything that needs to be corrected, even from the scouting department. And I think that's where Manchester United will be going right. But for me personally, I don't think Carrick is the profile. If they make a decision to say Carrick should go ahead to take the job, it will be purely sentimental and based on emotions, nothing else.
Okay. 090-40-4089, 090-40-4089. Yes, try to reach us and let's talk to you today on the show. That was a detailed analysis by Joseph. I threw in a few questions also to at least gain a bit of insight into what his idea of what a Man United manager should be. Well, you heard everything from him, and he said it the way he felt it should be spoken about as far as the situation right there is concerned. Let's go for it and let you know that action continues in the championship, and Femi Aziz on the double. He scored again. Yes, he has scored again. 11 goals and 7 assists this season, and okay, interesting numbers there. That's 18 goals contribution in the championship. No surprises that he's one of the nominees for the player of the year. Southampton have also doubled their lead in the game against Preston North End. Blackburn Rovers against Leicester City is goalless. Bristol still lead against Stoke 1-0. Derby County still lead against Sheffield United 1-0. Second half is yet to get started in the game between Hull City and Norwich. It is 1-1 at halftime, and Ipswich Town lead 2-0. Second half has just kicked off. Millwall have just doubled their lead. Portsmouth against Birmingham is 1-1. Preston Northern have conceded a second to Southampton as they lead in that game. The fantastic form of the Southampton team, yes, it's been an amazing run from 17th position to top 4. Let's let you know also that Sheffield Wednesday lead by 2-0 against West Bromwich Albion. It is goalless in the game between Swansea City and Charlton Athletic, and Watford trail at home 2-0 to Coventry City. And the game between Wrexham and Middlesbrough, it is 2-2 as we speak. Okay, 2-2 the scoreline right there as we speak in that game. Okay, we'll bring you more of this, but now we're looking at Man United. If these concerns are valid, you've heard Joseph, he said yes, these concerns are valid, and if it will not be from an emotional point of view, the man should not be given the job on a permanent basis. If I get you correctly.
No, sure.
Okay, at least you're here. You can attest to that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Vicky.
Good afternoon to you.
Victor, how are you?
Yes, welcome.
Joseph, I greet you.
I greet you, welcome.
Happy Sunday, Vicky.
It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday.
Now, waiting Joseph thought just the time here. I have one on the line.
Okay.
Vicky. Yeah, I say, Muku analyze this the way you see. Don't talk as let's analyze it, analyze and where. How I think they start for us now. Where people look at them now. Now one better coach. How they start for Barcelona? Let me be in day before they bring a the first thing of Baka. Who leave this Man U sentiment of the thing say they want February because SPR. See, how can if we don't give her the platform now, how he wants to become a better coach? He go the coaching school now. He go Middlesbrough. He do West more. At least he go the coaching school. Let me say they don't pick up come for Man U coach now. Okay, if we don't give them platform, how they want to be a better coach? The Luis Enrique way they talk, how they start the home. Maybe for for performance too. They go university. So if we don't give us the platform to be the player are playing for him. All the players they say they give him the job. They are playing for him. Even though they want to come out for second and first, they smile, they clap their hand, they come out. They are happy playing for him. So what you consider to support them, the one or two player, say the one we want sell, give a new player, back them up. I have the one partner, Joseph. But you will bring Pep Guardiola come before we buy you better. This is also small, they get good goals. You know what I think better coach in the future? Okay, if we call let them go now, we go bring the one way you want me come. I don't go do it. You go. And you go another club, go do it. You go. This is a company. Maybe it's a company that they go buy money now. They do it. Maybe they get bully. So if we don't do like that, just I want to make it good. Okay, the thing is working. Let's just release this Man U TNA. Who just focus on who they give us results. This Man U fans now, we don't get TV again. We smile the job where they do what that just for. Before now, we get to watch Man U match. Then now Man U game is one of the best games to watch. This from January till now. Just have a break now. Put this man to watch us now. If they do a big one, we don't guy was just a better want to go give an answer to what's for us. The guy is thank you. Good day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, he did mention before we threw the lines open that there's going to be a lot of emotional decisions and emotional reactions to this. This sounds like one of them, does it?
Yeah, and whether you like it or not, Man United should not be a platform to start testing coaches. Real Madrid was not a platform. That is why they continue to hire, the best team, the best names possible. They are saying their Beloa test is not working. Guess who they are trying to bring in now? Jose Mourinho. It's not a platform. If Zidane had not done well with that ultra team, Zidane would not be near anywhere in that team. Manchester United have tested it before. I told you about Van Nistelrooy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. These are platforms. Did they make most of them? No. It's just as simple as that. PLO, Juventus. I don't recollect. Young managers will start from the smaller teams where they can try as much as possible. They can at least get their authorities right and hone their talents. You don't start from the top. It never happens, and you think you want to go just like that. Arteta was told, because first of all, he's a talented manager. He's a talented coach. He knows he knows the job first of all, and then he went to a club. Arsenal had nothing to lose. Arsenal were not going to the Champions League. Arsenal were not performing good even in the Premier League. They recognize that
they probably will not make that decision in 2026.
It's not possible. If Arteta, just like Amorim now, if Arteta had been into say 2025 when Amorim came in and Manchester, he would not survive. It is just as simple as that. But at that point in time, they saw, okay, what was the squad value apart from the likes of Aubameyang and Ozil. You could count how many players you could say, okay, these guys will start anywhere in the Premier League, and they didn't have such big characters. In fact, they had to come. Odegaard actually came on loan. Ceballos, those were the guys that were doing it. That nice Maitland-Niles, those were the guys. So it was a case of, all right, just as we have to with Chelsea at this point in time. Even Chelsea still get better team past Arsenal at that point in time now. And then they feel like, okay, what can we do? We have nothing to lose. But here's the young manager. He knows what he's doing. Just as the way Bayern Munich basically gambled against, gambled for Vincent Kompany. They first of all saw the idea. They got sold. They were going to stick with him until the end.
Bayern are the best club in Germany.
So,
with the quality they have, I think it was more of the idea of how he wanted to play. Exactly. Again, at that point in time also, for the managers they were mentioning, a lot of the guys were not interested in the Bayern job. They were not.
Because it was even a mess. They had Nagelsmann, they had Tuchel, and those guys basically, they struggled. Yes, they won the league at the end of the day, but they struggled. And it was a case of, okay, where do we need to restart? First of all, you see the idea. This is what we want to get into our team. Arsenal at that point in time where it was a mess as well. So, for example, just as you had with Amorim, they saw this idea. We are going to stick with it with no matter what. Get the decisions of the coach. I want this player out. You get him out. Now it's paying off. How many teams do you think would be willing to put, waste like 4 years?
Trophies might still be a concern, but not stability.
Exactly.
Okay. 090440889.
Sorry, Ten Hag. It doesn't as if Man United did not have the trophies, FA Cup, the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
But they saw that this is not sustainable.
The stability was the problem.
Yes, they were not stable. But guess what Arteta did first? Yes, he won the FA Cup, but he gradually built a stable team. Arsenal are about the most stable. Have whatever opinion you like, of them, whatever you want. But the truth is, they are very stable. If a team is going for a title 3 years consecutively, and they continue the same level of performance, maybe they need something extra. You have to give them the flowers, first of all, for stability. Maybe they now need, probably an extra push to win the things. That's another conversation. But when you continue to show up, you're in the face of everybody, and they recognize that you are doing something well, and then you want to give. No, it's not possible.
Okay. 090440889. This is getting really exciting, and I'm loving it. Hello there. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Now my brother be this you, I no get another one. My brother be this you. Victor, you can't name my brother.
Good afternoon.
Joseph, the Mayu legislation officer.
Okay.
I work for you.
Go enter Champions League. Your team no go enter. You go no. Don't worry.
Go Champions League. They go lose all the match where they met. They will still go for Champions League. My name is Sadi Efusa. Also known as the first of Kobioko. You can call me Mayu Destroyer or Mayu Bomber. You are highly welcome.
Don't do, I beg. Just let's go.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. Your family not so well. Hey, my brother, you see what Joseph talk is real truth. You know, say he get music where we they go Igabo from my plane. Now senior man the data. If you the data, you know go put your toes for ground. Now the May foot match you go the match for ground the data. Now they will know say you the getter. You see that coach. If he go Champions League, me I give you expo. He go be like the time when Liverpool play Man U 7-0. No test you. Now so that guy go collect 7-0 for Champions League. For me, make them look for better coach. Not to say I hate Man U. I want to be specific. I want to be straightforward, to be audible, to be honest this afternoon. Let them look for better coach. A coach that so much amamata. Now that guy could not be that guy small boy when he's there. My brother, if that boy just Champions League, you no collect 14-0. No call me Okokobioko, call me Okokoriko. You are welcome. I'm telling you. So make them check well. Because we know the Liverpool don't do 7-0 at the 7-0 for Champions League again, back to back. Now the what I want to now. Man, you are finished. Joseph.
No, please. You can analyze this thing without your personal prejudices. You do not like Man United. You don't have to remind us all the time. Please, just keep it simple, and let's move on from there. Villarreal lead 1-0. Yes, in that game against Levante. Yes, 45 minutes on the clock, plus 2 extra in that game. And it's also a day to say a lot of goodbyes in the championship, because some players are already waving the fans to say, okay, this is going to be the last time. And we're seeing a lot of that as far as this one is concerned. Yes, we've not seen more goals from the last time we announced the goals across all the centers. In fact, some games have not even scored today. Blackburn Rovers, Leicester City, no goals there. And Swansea City, Charlton Athletic, no goals there as well. Okay, these are the 2 games that we have not seen goals in the last day of the championship. But in terms of corner kicks, trust me, they are doing good. Blackburn Rovers against Leicester City, there's been 14 corner kicks in that game. Yes, 14. 7 for each side. And that, of course, for those of you who would want to look at that, the other one has just 6. And it's just 58 minutes, so there's still time enough. Of course, looking at games, let's go to the Bundesliga, where Cologne women lead against Werder Bremen women by 3-0. Brighton women lead against Man United women 1-0. It is 88 minutes in that game right now. Armen City against Den Bosch, it is 1-0 in the relegation playoffs, of course, in the Eredivisie. And I can tell you, BKME against Alashkert. Alashkert lead in Armenia at halftime, 1-0 in that fixture. Baro lead against Slavia Sofia in Bulgaria, 2-0. And the Chinese Super League, yes, Qingdao Hanyu lead 3-1 against Shanghai Port. And Jiang Professional against Shenzhen. Yes, it is 1-1 in that game. And Yunnan Yukun against Beijing Guan, it is 1-1 as well. Halftime in that game. Let's let you know that Coventry have now made it 3-0. Yes, they have now made it 3-0 in that game. In Estonia, yes, Kuressaare against Levadia. It is 1-1, 64 minutes on the clock. And let's go to other places and bring you results. Let's see what's happening in Hungary. Yes, BTK Budapest against Nyíregyháza. It is 1-1 in that game, 95 minutes on the clock. And let's go to Lithuania, where Transinvest lead against Ritiera by 3-0. Grobina against Daugavpils in Latvia. It is goalless at halftime in that game. Johor DT against Kuala Lumpur City. It is 2-0. Johor lead in that game, 36 minutes on the clock. Sabah against PDRM FC. It is 4-1. Sabah lead in that game against PDRM. And of course, if we go to Romania, yes, the relegation group, Oțelul Galați trail at home 2-0 to Metalurglobos of Bucharest in that game. In Russia, it is Dinamo Makhachkala 1, FK Rostov 2. And in Singapore, Geylang against Ballistia Klasa. It is 2-1. Ballistia Klasa lead on the road in that game. Okay, some of the results even from the trenches that we have been able to touch on the show. Preston North End pulled one back against Southampton. It is 2-1 in the championship right there. And yes, bringing you the action. It is halftime in La Liga as Villarreal lead 1-0 in that game against Levante. Okay, let's get back into our talking points on the show this afternoon. 090-44,089. Are these concerns valid? Yes, first by Guy Neville, later by Scholes, raising concerns about why they think United need a proven manager and that United are on the cusp of something special because other clubs have their own problems that they are dealing with, and he believes that United can really take advantage of those. Let's hear from you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Uchen Nathan Konya calling from Imo State.
Okay.
All right. I do not agree to the proposal that Michael Carrick should be dropped. I'm not a Man United fan.
Okay.
If you want to be fair, you don't change a winning team. You don't change the goalpost in the middle of the match. Michael Carrick for me has proven that he can do well. And as we speak, Man United, they are doing quite well. Why don't you allow Michael Carrick to keep on, navigating this team? Fly him with the necessary Arsenal next season. And you'll see him flying. There is no coach in the world, in the world that does not have up and down. No team in the world without ups and downs. Every team, every coach. Look at the way people are talking about Arne Slot now. But with this Arne Slot that people pray for high level last season. What about Pep Guardiola? So there is no team, there is no coach who don't have ups and downs. What I'm saying in essence is that allow Michael Carrick to continue, and if he continues, it does not mean that at some point there won't be, some concerns. There will. But knowing that he has started from the scratch, when Man United we are nowhere to be reckoned with, and they have navigated them to this point. Allow him to continue because they have built a bridge, they have built that solid foundation. Bringing in a new coach now is like starting afresh. I'm not a Man United fan, but I think what will work for Man United. Arsenal tried it and it's working for us. With that young man, the chance, if he didn't perform all these 3 months that he has been given, it would have been a different thing. But he has performed quite well. I think, to be on a lighter note, the gods of the land may be angry if they start Michael Carrick. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You said the gods of the land might be angry if Carrick gets sacked. Okay, let's take more calls. In the meantime, yes, contributions are coming in. Please try to keep them as short as possible because we have a lot of them. And if you're sending epistles, then it will be hard for us to read all of them. If Man United don't give Carrick the job, whoever they give the job must deliver Champions League and EPL title. This is coming from Patrick. He says, I see Carrick as someone who understands the club, do the basics instead of show off. And he also has a great man management skills. And the players are happy with him. These are recipes for greatness as a club. All great coaches learn on the job, and Carrick is doing fantastically well. And I know that he will play more matches next season. So improve on the squad depth, and that's all. That Man United needs to sign at least what Man United needs is to sign at least 5 or 4 more players, above average players for Carrick. Players, yes, quality players. Player quality is one of the major letdown for most of our previous coaches. This one is coming from Patrick on the show today. We'll go to the phone line soon. Joseph, you want to react to that before we go to the phone lines?
He said something about great managers. They learn before they get great jobs. Don't change it, because maybe once, probably 2 out of like 50, then it doesn't mean it's the norm. First of all, they start from somewhere. Company did not just become Burnley manager or even Bayern Munich manager. It started from Anderlecht.
Yeah.
So don't try to revise history. And there are some teams that would understand what you say, man management. Maybe the likes of Real Madrid. But teams like Man United will be say they never get, apart from Bruno.
I think this whole conversation about man management sometimes can be overstretched.
It is.
Into places where people begin to say you have to, the players are happy, you give them pat on the back, you're hugging the players. Bro,
players that are barely anything, they've yet to achieve anything. It's because of management. Rashford life don't almost spoil like this.
Bro,
his head Manchester United host.
This is the highest level of football. If you are expecting that the manager should be hugging you and be making you feel comfortable, you know that you are going to grind every day.
You are not Lewandowski.
It is a grind.
You are not not any of the big guys. Let's not even forget Ronaldo and Messi. Those ones don't even get maybe taps at it. They do the work. As old as Ronaldo, he still tracks back. I saw Ronaldo defending and doing slide tackles.
Look, Modric.
At 41.
Modric
is still running around.
He broke his cheekbone on Saturday.
For
a header, he probably wouldn't have won because of his size. But he leaped and he went for it while Locatelli was also going for it. And there was a clash of heads. And the brother is not going to play until the World Cup now.
But the elite players they don't send any what you need. It is even disruptive to say tap at the what is that?
Bro, your performance earns you a spot to play next week.
They say you need management for Garnacho.
All this one where you want to manage this, I think it's a bit of a stretch. I'm not saying do not manage the guys who work with you, but I think the way the conversation goes most times, we're just trying to give it a new meaning.
Players are so difficult. They are so difficult. The moment you start extending arms of grace towards them too much, they start disrespecting you. And if many Manchester United fan does not understand this, you probably need to revise what you even understand about the club, because we've had more than 10 years of players doing the same thing. Oh, Rashford is a good guy. You just need to sometimes look for ways around. The guy is barely doing anything for himself at this point in time. It took him a trip to Barcelona to start apologizing for the wrong things he did while he was at Manchester United. Does it make any sense? Even Garnacho has started doing interviews, say I can't see anything bad of the. Now it has taken you to a place like Chelsea for you to realize that you were doing the wrong things at Man United.
People grow.
Now, people grow. The time they were supposed to work for you, and then everybody gets happy. They use that time in growing, and then they grow in other places to enjoy.
Let's take more contributions on the show. This one says, "Good afternoon, Joseph. You said that Tessa is a talented coach before he's a talented coach before joining Arsenal. You got me confused. Which club did he coach before joining Arsenal? Carrick have coached before, and he did well, and that shows that he is talented. Now he's proving it again at Man United, and he has given Man United stability." Seems Joseph don't just want Carrick, because all that he's saying about Arteta, company and co is still qualifying Carrick for the job. This one is coming from Femi.
It's qualified Mr. Roy for the job.
This one here says, "Good afternoon, Brilla. Using this opportunity to wish both Arsenal male and female team success and victory today." Okay. All right, thanks. But it has nothing to do with our topic. Vicky, this one says, "VQ, good afternoon. It's been a while. I'm not a Man United fan, but let's be realistic. Carrick has done a fantastic job, and I'd like Man United to retain Carrick Sunday from Ikorodu. Sunday, thank you." This one here says, "Good afternoon, VQ and Joseph. For me, many people are being biased on Carrick becoming Man United head coach. For me, he's done a good job, a fantastic job leading the club back to European competition, stabilize the team, making the players understand their role on the field of play. Truth be spoken, he is the right man. Or can United get Enrique? Good to go because getting a new coach aside these two is a gamble. Yes, it's a gamble walk. I'm Ike. Ike Simon from Libya. this one is coming from you on the show. Good afternoon, guys. Though I'm not a Man United fan, but you see, Man U are not serious. Nistelrooy was doing well, but you went for an experience at Amorim, and he fumbled everything. Now Carrick is doing fine. You still want to change a winning team. Bolaji from Butemeta. Mr. Was he really doing well? He just had like 3 games or 2 games, and then he can't go Leicester. Bruh, I don't know whether I'm doing well with that too. This one says, good afternoon, guys in the studio. Adake Fast from Wasawa says, I think United board should look for a high-profile coach. Carrick did well, but he's not mature enough to take United to the promised land. Promised land? Okay. Let's, of course, okay, we could see. More calls coming in on the show this afternoon, 090-44,889. Of course, the numbers to call to be a part of it right here, right now. Let's let you know that Sheffield United have come from a goal down. They now lead by 2-1 against Derby County, and Hull City have taken the lead against Norwich 2-1. It is right now in that game. Scorelines are changing, and a whole lot are changing as well as far as this one is concerned. Preston North End pulled one back against Southampton, but Southampton still lead by 2-1 in that game. Watford, yes, Mason Clark is the man who has scored the 3rd goal for them in the game as they lead against Coventry, as they lead against Watford in that game. Okay, yes, the latest coming in from that part of town. And let's let you know also that it is halftime in the game between Villarreal and Levante. Yes, it is halftime in that game. Man United women against Brighton women ended 1-1. Yes, it ended 1-1. A late goal by the United ladies, of course. Saw them share the spoils in the game. Nantes against Marseille has just kicked off. Wolfsburg against Leipzig women has also kicked off. And Lyon against the Arsenal women. Yes, Lyon women against Arsenal women also right on as we speak. Okay, so the table, the championship, of course, the table looks like this. Coventry, of course, already champions. Ipswich Town, yes, of course, they will secure their 2nd spot. Millwall at 3rd, Southampton at 4th. It is Middlesbrough in the number 5 position, and of course Hull City in the number 6 position as things stand. Okay, yes, it has changed once again to what it looks like right now as far as action right there is concerned. We're also counting down to games. Yes, of course, games in the Premier League today. Yes, there will be games, and soon, of course, you would know the lineup of the teams as they prepare for this one. Yes, big games coming up. And West Ham United, yes, a big blow for Spurs psychologically coming into this game. But yes, we'll talk about all of that and a lot more on the show. We're looking at Michael Carrick, and if you think, yes, these views are valid, yes, if these views are valid, that Carrick, of course, should be given the job or not be given the job, not be considered for the job. Yes, the views expressed by Gary Neville, who has said, look, he's done a good job, but that's it. If United is to go to the next level where they can win trophies, and because other clubs have their issues to deal with, he doesn't think this man is the guy. Okay, let's hear from you on the show expressing these concerns. Are these valid concerns? Are these concerns valid, or you think no, it doesn't change anything? If the man has done the kind of job he's done already, then let him continue. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, Victory from Asaba.
Okay.
Okay, I'm talking about the Carrick issue.
Yeah, go
this
on.
is my first time calling.
Okay, welcome for the very first time.
Okay. So I want to make some clear, because I know one thing I was Joseph being Joseph, those things he brought out is very good fact. I think someone asked the question just now. Carrick have done a great job. Of course, yes, able to cheat. Now, if you bring a new coach coming now, which top class coach now is available now? Look at the market. I'm not saying that they should not bring a new coach, but something has to be done. You cannot do the same thing as a result. We brought an experienced Amorim who have done very well and still we got us. Now we got to who can steady the ship. We will continue and look at the mistake they made social and start doing very well. By backing the play, the coach with the right players and add a squad depth. not just okay, the social, this or that one. Social, they don't share things. Social didn't win any trophy in Manchester United. And he got to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. He got to the semi-final of the Europa Cup. Finally, again, the next season. That comes. Every season, things go bad. We know that, but everything will pick up. But let me get this straight. What they have to do is that this guy is speaking very well. What can we do to support him to continue to keep moving? That is the key. And continue not bringing a new man. They will come and take every again. Just what I'm going to. So that is it. It's not about everything that's looking at, oh, he's not a good. If he takes coach, because he go in Roma, in Brescia, like that, before he came to Barcelona, before he came to Barcelona. That's the process. Now, I remember when Pep was coming to Barcelona, they had the issue, oh, it's not bringing, it's not experience, you bring in Mourinho. I don't know, I said, let's stick to the Pep and look at everything. So let's give this guy a try. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that one on the show this afternoon. Interesting take right there as far as this one is concerned. Now, a lot of questions raised there if he should be backed, rather than questions about if he's done it at the highest level or if anything is going to change. I think again, not picking sides now, but those who say if a new manager comes in, he's going to start afresh, and there's every possibility he takes United back to where Amorim left them. Is the new manager going to be using the Amorim template? Because again, a new manager comes in, and if he's a quality manager, you already know what to expect.
That's where Manchester United need to. The sporting director, I don't know what it is. The direction is, where they need to get it right. First of all, is to identify what brand they want to be with, and then you can. I think it makes it work very easy. This is how we want to play the football. This is the kind of manager we would get, to play it, because I mean, he probably must have shown, he identifies with the same philosophy.
You think in the conversation for the recruitment of a manager, talks about how they play should feature?
First of all, yes, and how they play would inform, first of all the manager, and then it will go, in form of it would also how the direction they want to take in the recruitment. So it means you just will not be attracted to just big names or whatever names popping off the markets. Yes, I like to feel like, okay, maybe they've hacked something and maybe it's not started to work now, but the kind of talents that maybe a few months ago, but now it feels as if it has returned to what it used to be, the default setting. But a few months ago, when it was during Amorim, there were talks about some guys from the South Americas. There were talks about some few guys that were basically not as known, but you understand that this is what they add to the team. Not just, okay, what would this guy be able to give us? Is he a fantastic dribbler? Fine. Is he a goal scorer? Good. Is he a good passer of the ball? No. It has to be much more than that. It's not just the surface value. It is what this guy with his profile, how does he elevate the team? Not just as a fantastic goal scorer. Yes, that is what is needed at the end of the day. But there are some kind of players, a Luis Enrique, an Arteta, a Pep Guardiola would go after. I mean, I'm not sure how many teams were particularly looking for a guy like Nico Gonzalez when he was available. Manchester City just went there and picked him up because they identified this is what we need from him. He has a profile. He can do what we need of him or ask of him. Ryan Cherki, apart from Manchester United, it was basically Manchester City. Yes, Manchester United. The reason why Manchester United were on him was because Amorim was going on a double 10. And when you have a double 10, is a guy who features as a winger and can also play as a 10. So which was like what an Mbeumo will give you. So you could understand that, okay, this is the direction we are taking towards the market and in terms of recruiting players. So I think when you have the kind of football you want, when you pick a philosophy, then you can now say, okay, this is the kind of manager we would employ. I don't think it was so much of a stress for Manchester City to possibly identify who they want to get after a Pep Guardiola. Maresca had studied under him. People were also mentioning things like people like Arteta, for him to possibly take charge of Manchester City in case he's gone. I mean, these are speculations. Teams like Barcelona, they know this is the philosophy. They look at Arteta. Is he playing the tiki-taka? Yeah. Which other manager is there? People who at one point they took a Tata Martino from wherever, from South America, because of the same philosophy. And again, sometimes things don't work out, but the fact is, it made the work easier for them. When Xavi was to be appointed, he played the same kind of football outside. So it was very easy for them, and then okay, this is the kind of guys who if there are some players you would never even attach with, maybe speculating that they will go to Barcelona or some kind of clubs. So I think it is important that all of these things are thrashed out, and I think it will eventually, imagine getting another manager now who believes entirely of a different philosophy, and the whole thing probably collapses in some few months, and then you start all over again. And because you don't want to do the hard work now, you start the process multiple times for like 10 years. That is the curious case of Manchester United, and I think it would be a mistake to continue that way again until by next summer.
Okay. 11 minutes past 2. Yes, and all the games in the championship have now produced results. Yes, they have now produced goals. At least one goal per game in the championship. Let's go over it again. It is Blackburn 0, Leicester 1, Bristol 1, Stoke 0, Derby County 1, Sheffield United 2, Hull City 2, Norwich 1, Ipswich 2, QPR 0, Millwall 2, Oxford United 0, Bournemouth 1, Birmingham 1. Portsmouth 1, Birmingham 1, Preston 1, Sheffield United 2, Southampton 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2, West Bromwich Albion 0, Swansea 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Watford 0, Coventry 3, and Wrexham 2, Middlesbrough 2. Now Swansea have just scored again to make it 2-1 against Charlton Athletic. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, keep it coming and let's take your thoughts. Are these concerns valid? Not to hand the man the job. Are these concerns valid? (090440889) the numbers to reach us on WhatsApp. Okay, make your contributions. Josh from Badagry says, by now I expect Carrick to have gotten the job permanently. What is the board waiting for? What are the board waiting for? And this one here says, good afternoon guys, I am Joshua Okedinachi Ujaku from Asaba. Says, Joshua, these man management issues really got me to write this. Joseph Arteta's first season, you Eva said Arteta lack man management and that he can't handle the boys. Now you don't want the man management in United. Remember the cup you used in measuring for others, they will use the same for you.
Don't say what I never said. Don't say what I never said. I said he could not handle the egos, but sometimes the board needs to back the manager. If he sabi what it now, he know what they do, and he probably, for example, now I for one agree with the fact that Rashford should be nowhere near Carrington once anymore. It's just as simple as that, because it signifies something, a change in what things used to be like in terms of the discipline, the vibe around the dressing room. I think there's need for sanity in there, and if the guy comes back to the constitution nonsense, I think it's it's bad for the team entirely. So for me, I think first of all, there's some kind of, for example, go see some kind of names, say Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Benzema in some kind of mess. It's not possible. So those ones don't get the ego, but like Aubameyang now, when they feel say they're above everybody. First of all, you understand that it's a virus. I was wrong to have supported Pogba over Mourinho, and I own the fact that I was wrong, because truthfully, Pogba was not constituting what was supposed to be right at that point in time against a Mourinho that had worked with the best of talents before and had no problems. So for me, there are some profiles you absolutely did not need in the dressing room, and when you recognize the fact that they are affecting the rest of the guys negatively, you just have to cut them loose. It's just as simple as that.
Okay, I agree. Bristol City have scored a second goal against Stoke. It is 2-0 in that game right now all the games I've seen at least 2 goals, except the Blackburn Rovers and Leicester City game that has just 1 goal. There's been loads of goals in these games. Let's let you know that Levante have pegged back Villarreal. It is 1-1 in that game right now. Torino against Udinese is goalless. No goals recorded yet. Nantes against Marseille is also goalless as well. Amen City still lead against Den Bosch by 1-0. And in the Women's Champions League semi-final, Lyon against Arsenal women, it is goalless after 15 minutes of that game has been seen so far. Let's go to some of the things. Of course, action coming in as far as fixtures right here are concerned. Yes, Brighton are on the road. They go to Newcastle at St. James's Park. Joelinton returns as a Newcastle make one change to the visit of Brighton. Yes, for the visit of Brighton and Hove Albion, the midfielder missed the defeat against Arsenal and Bournemouth through suspension, but he's been recalled in place of Jacob Ramsey this afternoon. So Anthony Gordon not fit enough to start, but makes the bench after recovering from a hip issue. So yes, it is Nick Pope in goal, Miley, Malik Thiaw, Sven Botman, as well as Dan Burn. The 4 in defense, it is Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, and Joe Willock. Yes, the 3 in the middle, and of course Jacob Murphy, William Osula, and Joelinton. Yes, these are the guys in the attack for them. They have a couple of them on the bench, including Ramsdale, Trippier, Hall, Visa, Gordon, Barnes, Elanga, Voltamada, as well as Jacob Ramsey. Danny Welbeck starts for Brighton. Brighton also make a solitary change on the trip to St. James's Park. The striker, who is in fine goal scoring form, record of course also against Newcastle, comes in for Jorginho Rota. And captains the visitors today. Talking about the Danny Welbeck, manager Fabian Hosseler has otherwise kept faith with the team that defeated Chelsea 3-0 last time out. So yes, it is Verbroken in goal. Yes, Wi-Fi there. So is Van Hecke, as well as Bossani and Kadioglu. Yes, the 4 in defense. It is Pascal Gross and Baleba, the 2 in front of the back 4. You have Minte, Hinshelwood, and Mitoma playing right behind the Danny Welbeck, who leads the attack for the side in this fixture. Let's go to this one where, of course, Dan Bentley, Yasin Mosquera, as well as Aroko Dare, they all start for relegated Wolves in this fixture. Bentley is in goal. Mosquera, Santiago Bueno, and Totti Gomez are the 3 in defense. It is a midfield 4 of Pedro Lima. Yes, João Gomez, as well as Andre and Hugo Bueno. Yes, right there in the side. Armstrong, Mane, and Tolu Arokodare are the 3 guys starting in this game as they welcome Sunderland today in that fixture. Yes, Renildo and Talbi, they start for Sunderland as Reggie Lebris, makes 2 changes at Molineux. So yes, Habib Diarra and Chris Rigg are among the substitutes, while of course Jesslyn Tabi returns to the squad after an ankle injury. So the Black Cats have conceded 9 goals in their last 2 games after shipping 4 at Aston Villa and 5 at home to Nottingham Forest. So yes, changes have been made. Rolfs, of course, is back in goal for the side. It is Mukiele, Ballard, as well as Alderete and Renildo Mandava, the 4 in defense. Granit Xhaka alongside Noah Sadiki are the 2 in front of the back 4. It is Hume, Talbi, and Enzo Lefebvre. Yes, the 3 guys playing right behind Brian Brobby, who leads the attack for the side in this fixture. Let's go to the game between, an all-London affair in the game between Brentford. Brentford, who will take on West Ham United. Now for Brentford, Keith Andrews keeps faith with the Brentford side. Yes, the team that started on Monday night in their 2-1 defeat to Man United. And midfielder, Vitaly Janelt, who also missed the Bees' last 7 games with a foot injury, is back among the substitutes. So yes, Kelleher is the man in goal. It is a back 4 of Coyote. Vanderberg, Nathan Collins, as well as Kim Louis Porter. Of course, you have Yamaluik and Jensen, the 2 in front of the back 4. It is Ouattara, Damsgaard, as well as Shada. Yes, Kevin Shada, the 3 playing right behind the Igor Thiago. Somebody was telling me yesterday that Igor Thiago, they go package and now sell him for 80 million. He's saying, I just hope so my Chelsea no go put money there. Yes, of course, Valdemarson, of course, is on the bench alongside Hickey. Pinnock is there, so is Da Silva, Nelson, Aya, Yanelt, Donovan, and Furo. Yes, former Nigerian international's son, Yenemi's son, plays there right now. Nuno Espirito Santo, of course, the names are unchanged. The West Ham side for the 4th game in succession. Yes, Callum Wilson has to settle for a place on the bench after scoring the winner against Everton last weekend. While, of course, Konstantinos Mavropanos makes his 100th appearance for the Hammers in this game. Hammerson, yes, it's the man in goal. It is Kyle Walker-Peters, Konstantinos Mavropanos, who's doing his 100th game for West Ham United, is right there in the centre-back position alongside Desasi, and you have Malik Diouf, yes, who plays at left back in this game. It is a midfield four of Jared Bowen, yes, Thomas Suchek, as well as Matheus Fernandes, and yes, Crescencio Somerville. Pablo plays right behind Tati Castellanos in this game, as West Ham United, of course, will be hoping that they get something to pull themselves out of that place called the relegation waters. Okay, yes, let's go to the championship once again. It's full time. Leicester have relegated, but at least they bow out. Yes, they bowed out with a win on the road. Yes, it is 1-0 in that game. Coventry have made it 4-0 against Watford, and what a game! 4-0 it is. Yes, top the scorer for them this time around. Southampton have just made it 3-1 against the Preston North End in that game. West Bromwich Albion have pulled one back, but it looks like it's not going to be enough for Sheffield Wednesday, who are already relegated, and will be looking to avoid this one. Okay, yes, in the game between Derby County and Sheffield United came from a goal down. They lead by 2-1, and Bristol City, it is 2-0. They have just won that game. It's full time against Stoke City, a final game of the season right there. And if you talk of over 2.5s, maybe only 3 games didn't give that today. Yes, maybe only 3 games didn't give that today. Yes, only 3 actually didn't give. Okay, 4 games, because Millwall are yet to find the back of the net for the 3rd time. Yes, Millwall have not given over. Ipswich have made it 3-0 against QPR. So yes, there you go, the goals market. If that was your focus today, there you have it. Lyon women have taken the lead against Arsenal women, 1-0 in that game. It is now 2-2 on aggregate. Yes, 2-2 on aggregate. In fact, Lyon scored in the 8th minute. It was ruled out. Then they had a penalty that was missed. Renard missed the penalty, but she has scored yet another one in this game right now. So yes, it is 2-2 on aggregate. Yes, the legendary French defender, of course, Renard, is the one who has put herself level in this game. In the La Liga, the game between Villarreal and Levante is 1-1. And let's let you know that Udinese against Torino, 19 minutes on the clock. It is still goalless in that game. Okay, yes, it is goalless in that game. And yes, we'll bring you further updates in the Czech Republic. Yes, the Bohemians against Sigma Olomouc, 23 minutes. It is goalless. Kavina, yes, they trail by 1-0 against Pardubice. And I could tell you that Ostrava against Mlada Boleslav, no goals recorded yet. Zlin against Dukla Prague. It is 1-0. Dukla Prague, yes, the away side have just scored in that game. In Estonia, yes, Levadia came from a goal down to win against Curaçao, 2-1 in another fixture right there. Some of the games in the trenches, and just, of course, bringing you up to speed with what the scoreline is in all of these places on Football Live. Okay, let's get right back into it on the show today and take more of the contributions right here, right now. 090-44,889. Yes, the numbers to reach us. And let's take your thoughts. This one here says, good afternoon, guys. This is Prince Paul. I think if Man United cannot secure the services of Luis Enrique from PSG as a more experienced coach, retaining Carrick on a permanent role should be considered by United. Okay, thank you. This one here says, this is long. I apologize. I'll not be able to take this one. Yes, I'll not be able to take this one. It's too long. This one says, good afternoon, VQ. My own take is that Carrick should continue as Man United coach because the philosophy he brought to the team gives them great results. He should be backed, and they should be giving money to buy players that he desires. Ahmed Silva from Lekki. Sorry, I can't buy steak. Okay. I don't hear you. This one says, good afternoon, guys. Joseph, welcome back. I think Carrick has done well by bringing us to where we are now. They should keep him. Yes, he saved us from the destructions of Amorim. If going by a new coach, he should be a Class A coach, which none is available right now. Hashtag keep Carrick. Cityman from Onitsha. This one is coming from you this afternoon on the show. Good afternoon. Yes, this one here from Patrick. He says, do we have managers in the market? Is Enrique available? Guardiola? I don't think so. Who are the experienced coaches available to replace Carrick? Why are we sounding as if money is not important, and if the project is enticing enough, some of these managers cannot move? PSG is not a bigger club than Man United, irrespective of what Enrique has done there. If the United offer is tempting enough, they don't have to be available on the market. If you're ambitious enough, you probably go there and poach them, and that's it. I've seen comments like, oh, for a guy like Nagelsmann, for instance, he might be getting it right with the German national team, but I don't think for a guy his age, he enjoys just being there and be doing only international break and Euro League and all of these competitions. No, you want to be week in, week out, be active, and be getting the job done. I think that's what a guy like that should be doing. But again, you never know. I don't make these rules. Let's take a break right now. When we come back, there'll be more on Football Live. Stay with us.
Oh, can you believe that? This is number one. Sports Radio. 88.9.
But whatever you do, don't touch that dial. Out of airtime and you don't have money to top up. Out of data and you don't have money to top up. 737. The GT Bank airtime and data loan is available to you anytime. Just dial star 737 star 90 hash for airtime and star 737 star 91 hash for data to get up to 10,000 naira instantly at just 2.95%. T's and C's apply. You are never stranded with the GT Bank airtime and data loan. 737 737.
Voice is always heard. This is the home of the fan. Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM.
They go with the corner kick, shooting star still looking for the 3-point here. And no, fantastic header.
The WBC interim heavyweight champion of the world, the Nigerian Nightmare.
In this very moment, I'm king.
Carroll's out! He's won it for Liverpool! Much criticised club record signing comes up with a header that lifts their spirits.
Higher with the crown, yes.
They'll be looking to switch it quickly here for Ronaldo, who's got the better of Diego Alves. And Ronaldo scores brilliantly. The finish of a master, a craftsman at work.
Shout out to my haters, sorry that you couldn't faze me.
On the back, this is Kanu. He's got the captain has won the game for Nigeria. The man who's saved the game for Nigeria takes them into the final. Nwankwo Kanu, what a moment for him.
Greatness is what we on the brink of.
Oh, I don't believe it. Aguero, with seconds of the season remaining, has won the Premier League title for Manchester City. Hollywood, make this movie.
They have become the first African side to win Olympic gold and to win a major world footballing tournament. And no wonder they'll celebrate. Nigeria with the gold medal.
I'm really trying to make it more than what it is, because everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Messi scores! Another massive milestone, a half-century of goals in the Champions League, and he's the youngest player to reach that figure.
This is my moment.
Every moment is a treasure in Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM.
I wish that I could have this moment for life.
Brilla FM, a complete deal.
'Cause in this moment I just feel so alive.
And now in news from the world of football, reports are surfacing that last year's changes to the UEFA Champions League may have come
from a surprising source.
Here we go. Sources close to Lee are saying that Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been telling people the idea for the new format was all his idea.
Zlatan, last year we saw your announcement of the new format at the UEFA Champions League draw, and you were great.
Yes, I know. Zlatan is only here to help.
Okay, enough. You have to stop telling press and everyone else that we are making changes. Because we are not.
This is the Champions League, where the best in the world come to compete. This is an all-or-nothing league, where legends are made and hearts are broken. Football never stands still. It always evolves. And now, the fans are getting more competitive games. So that every match, every goal, every point matters. The best club competition in the world just got better. Because this is the Champions!
Follow all in the UEFA Champions League season on Brila.
You know, contributing your hot takes and opinions just got way easier because Sports Radio Brila FM is doubling down the fun by giving you 2 magical lines to connect to the studios. That means when you dial the numbers
090-41,889 and 090-44,889,
your voice will be heard on the home of the fans around the world. What are you waiting for? Start dialing, because now you have not one but a 2-way access to having your voice heard on your favorite radio station.
Breaking news straight to your phone. Brila Media is now on WhatsApp. Follow our official WhatsApp channel for the latest sports news, talking points, live updates, and in-depth coverage of sports events in Nigeria and around the world. From international tournaments to national teams, athletes, and exclusive stories. If it's sports, it's on Brila Media. To join, simply go to WhatsApp channels on your device. Search Brila Media and tap follow channel. No stress, no delays. Just sports as it happens. Brila Media, home of the fans.
They are the heartbeat of the game. The voices that roar from Lagos to London, from the streets to the screens. They are more than fans. They are family. They are Brila Nation. You cheer, you chant, you celebrate every goal, every victory, every moment that matters. And every single day, Brila Media celebrates you. The power, the passion, the pride of Brila Nation. Brila Media, the home of champions, the voice of the fans. United we stand, together we win. Because we are Brila Nation.
B-R-I-L-A, Brila.
A bigger sports experience just for you on several platforms. Sports Radio.
Brila FM.
Enjoy our services on www.brila.net.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Everywhere.
Subscribe to Brila Sports TV on YouTube.
Watch, like, and share our videos. Brila.
It's a total sports media experience. Anywhere. Everywhere.
Live and exclusive to Brila FM. You are tuned in to Football Live.
So we've got so much coming up on Football Live. We're covering everything in England, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in Saudi Arabia, in Nigeria. You name it, we've got it covered here on Football Live.
Our fantastic team of reporters will be bringing you all the goals as they go in the biggest games across the footballing world.
We love a bit of drama here on Football Live, and we've plenty of it this afternoon.
And you could not have scripted this.
I'm sure we've got a cracker on our hands.
This game is incredibly and beautifully unpredictable.
Well, I said the wheels were falling off. Wheels, the doors, the steering wheel, it's all come off.
Well, we've just wood one. Keeper headed off and goal.
Fantastic.
Didn't really see that one coming this afternoon.
Gone right under him. It's a shocker from the goalkeeper.
Where's it all gone wrong?
Football Live. There's nothing like it on weekends.
Football Live are proof that Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM has gone beyond one league. Football Live are proof that Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM has gone beyond one league.
How many do you want? How many do you want?
You are listening to Football Live.
Football Live.
Yes, welcome back. The action continues right here. It is your Champions Live Sports Radio Brilla FM, and yes, it is 2:37 at this point in time. And yes, of course, we are right on the show. Still, of course, taking you closer to the action. In the course of today's show, yes, we've talked about some hot topics, and we'll still have comments and contributions coming through. Good afternoon, guys. This is OJ Sam, and I think Carrick should be giving the nod. All they need is to get a good recruitment in midfield and in defense, and they are good to go. However, Joseph and VQ, which coach would you guys recommend for Man United, as it seems as it seems now, if it isn't Carrick?
Nagelsmann.
Julian, yeah. Julian is top on my list. I know I know the whole bandwagon conversation because you've seen PSG too much back to back, and you think, oh, Enrique is there. Oh. Yeah, but if you are working with what has a track record and what could put United on the path to something, I think Nagelsmann is a good coach. I think United job could make him say to Germany, hey guys, I've got to go to a place where I can compete and be in the conversation, and something that will task me. Give these coaches, you see them, all of them, don't they turn grey, bah? Sometimes the pressure that comes with that job, man. Nah.
Especially in England, it's different.
In England, it's
only
crazy.
Yesterday, I got to know that is it Jorge Bordalas? He's 62.
As young as he looks,
he's 62.
Are you serious?
I was like, nah.
But as he's 62.
62.
Are you sure you didn't check his father's profile or his?
I would
never have guessed. I would never have guessed his age. The same guy at Hetafe.
I was shocked.
Okay. Let's of course go to the phone lines.
He started coaching 1993.
That's a long time, man. That's a long time.
62. He looks like 34, 37, 40 at most. Wow.
So that's a lot.
England is different. It's a different case. I thought I know the Google. All this. Let me want to know.
This guy's gene is wonderful.
What?
He's 62. His gene is wonderful. Like what? How can you be 62 and look this fine and this young?
He looked older even when he was younger. Now it's as if he's aging backwards. 62.
More. Okay.
Well, all this time when Crystal Palace said they want him, come Crystal Palace now. You go talk back Captain America. You go start today after end. What's the last title now? Infinity Wars. After Infinity Wars, he had to go back to the normal process. Now he's aged and he's going to die. So right now, Borderlands comes to the Premier League. His dream will return to normal.
Let's let you know that Villarreal now lead 3-1 against Levante. And yes, in the Bundesliga, 5 games have kicked off. Bayern Munich against Heidenheim. And yes, of course, the game between Eintracht Frankfurt and Hamburger is on. Hoffenheim have already taken the lead against Stuttgart. Union Berlin against FC Cologne, of course, that game is on. And Werder Bremen against Augsburg, that game is also on. I can tell you for certain that as far as this one is concerned, Bayern, well, there's a good rotation in there for this particular game.
This is more than good rotation. There's no professional player in the entire 11.
Jamal Musiala.
Okay, Musiala is in the first 11.
Jackson is there. Goretzka is there. I mean, these are some of the. Jonathan Tah even started. I mean, maybe they don't want to risk Dayo Upamecano. Stanisic started the last game. He's also starting here. Yes. They have the other big guns on the bench. They've also had injury concerns actually, but
they've won this league, so there's no need.
They have.
Champions League is there to win. So they don't want
maybe
to
just one more game to give the fans something to cheer, and I guess that's why they have all of these guys out for this particular game. Lyon women lead 2-0 against Arsenal women, by the way. So that's 3-2 on aggregate. It's 41 minutes in the game right there. It's Champions League semi-final game between the two sides. Marseille, yes, they are on the road against Nantes. No goals recorded just yet. Just yellow cards. Quentin Timber has picked up a yellow card. Ablin has also picked on a yellow card in that game. And the guys are just busy amassing corners. We've seen 6 of them in 42 minutes of this game already. Ahmed City have doubled their lead against Den Bosch. Yes, 2-0 it is right now in that game. Yes, that I can tell you certainly. And yes, Yunnan Yokun led at some point in this game, but they've surrendered that lead now to Beijing Guoan, who now lead 3-2 in action right there in the Chinese Super League. Of course, just letting you know how things look across all the centers where these games are going down. 090-44,889. Yes, the numbers to call. Let's hear from you. Hello. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but try to reach us again, okay? Yes, try to reach us again, and let's take your thoughts. Michael Carrick, you think, should be that guy to continue? Or you think you don't trust him? There are reservations about all of these things. Oh, yes. Again, that's because his former teammates have said, look, United should look beyond him if they want to put United on a path to be more stable. I mean, there's always the room for you to be sentimental towards the guy because you know, of course, he was a player at some point. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. You sound really, really far from your phone. You will have to get close to the phone so that we can hear you. And yes, take your thoughts on the show. Not you sound really, really far from your phone. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Vicky.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vicky.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Dave. Vicky, when it has to do with whether a high-profile coach or anything, when it has to do with my youth, I am not perturbed at all because we have had quality and experienced coaches that came to Man U that had relatively success. But Man U benchmark has always been Champions League and league. Most of these coaches that came, they won domestic trophy for us. But yet there was no stability. Some came with a new philosophy. Especially Van Gaal came with back three. He couldn't succeed. Mourinho came almost similar to what Man U was used to under Ferguson. Somehow he didn't succeed. Ole came, he brought back that. But the problem only had, because among all these coaches that came to Man U, only Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was only coach that finished back-to-back top 4. Every other coaches couldn't do it. But it was unfortunate that he played fine and he couldn't win. And he had issue after 2.5 seasons. The 4th season he started having issue. And most of these coaches, that is exactly what happened to them in Man U. There was no stability, including Mourinho. Now, what Man U need is stability and results and pattern. And what's the pattern of Man U? Man U pattern has always been, because most of these clubs you see, they have a philosophy. Barcelona have a philosophy. Real Madrid, the same thing. Man U have a philosophy. Now, Michael Carrick has come in. He has brought us back two things that is needed in a coach. He doesn't have experience or not experience. It's result and pattern. Michael Carrick is playing the pattern we use on no Man U for.
Which pattern?
Under him. Man U saying good football under Michael Carrick. And we have seen results attached to it. So, what we need is not, we need to go and bring one big high profile coach. When we are not starved of results. You don't go and bring somebody to come and take over when you are there's something that nothing is lacking now. So except if Magetari is given the job permanently, and we know the stability is not seen, that's where this conversation should come around. For now, the football level is doing it right. Result-wise, is doing it right. So, me, I followed Man U very well, very, very well, very well. So, I don't think I have too many people that will tell me anything about Man U. I don't want to talk about the years I followed Man U. So, right now, as a club, Man U, we don't need any name. What we need is a result and good football. And Michael Carrick is giving us. Carrick is not being appointed by sentiment. Carrick, if they appoint Carrick, they are appointing based on results, not sentiment. Because Amorim came with a pattern when he wanted to change the pattern of football. But Amorim pattern was not giving us results. It was like today, I must confess, Victor, let me tell you, today my wife said when Amorim was the coach of Man U, that it was two steps forward and 3 steps backward. I was laughing. I said,
who said that? Maguire said that?
No, he said his wife.
Okay, his wife.
He said?
Go on.
Yes, so now, Vicky, to be sincere, giving Michael Carrick job based on experience is gamble. But in football, we have seen it time with time number that there's some time when situations come to this level that you have to gamble. Because sometimes the gamble will end up giving you what you never expected. Because even Alex Ferguson, it was more or less like a gamble.
No, it wasn't.
But at the end of the day, after 4 years, he started giving us results. So let them back him off, giving the right player he needs. Because right now, Man U is not even lacking quality. The only thing we're lacking is addition. If we can add 4 to 5 players to that squad, good players, to now replace Casemiro, bring in somebody that will wrestle that midfield with Kobe Mino, bring in maybe one left full back, you sure, bring in one centre half that will help some of those centre half that is there, then bring in another good, effective, either a supporting striker or a winger. Man U is good to go. Thank you.
You just contradicted yourself.
You see all this recruitment you don't do here, so
now from out now. When Ferguson came in, he don't give us results. In fact, if you are going to mirror Ferguson with any other coach since he has left, it will be Amorim. Because before Ferguson even was able to implement his own ways, it took him a while. We were not getting results at all until things started to pop off, and the stability was there. So, I think we have missed that window. Except we now realize again that all this is what we do. Go because I don't say it's not even just about backing the manager now. Because you back the manager, no manager 100% gets everything they want at the end of the day. That is how the market is. But sometimes you also have to try as much as possible, to make most of even the best that you have. Yes, Manchester United don't have the best of players at this point in time, but when those guys come and then there's still no stability, what do you have to do then? So you have to revisit the old thing. So at the end of the day, a rebuild is not going to be complete until you absolutely back it on to the end. But I think nowadays I don't think people want to be patient anymore. Maybe 20 years, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, just like with Arteta. And again, it takes a club that understand that is a club that let me just use touch grass. Like they understand this is the reality. If you are not touching grass, you continue to fool yourself.
You will have to step outside sometime to go have a feel of the grass and say to yourself that
no be so this thing now real life be this be for mouth.
Because it gets to a point where you say that, especially if you realize it early enough to say, okay, this is who we used to be, and we are not that people anymore. I think that's also usually the problem when we talk about things like this, where we say quality managers will not only bridge the gap, they make the path towards getting back to where you used to be shorter. Now, it might take a little longer to build it, but then when you find that stability, you stay in that place where you get the job done.
And then continue to build on the momentum.
I don't think on the evidence of what we've seen in the Prem, that anybody will say Arteta cannot compete for the title. Winning it is a different conversation entirely.
Yes.
But that he's done it for 4 straight seasons now, I think it's just a matter of crossing the line.
Yes.
That people will now raise questions about and say, okay, but he's not been able to. I mean, that's also valid. But I look at situations like this and you want to raise concerns about. I think for a lot of people, where the disconnect is that they want it now. Once the results are looking good, they just want that next, like when Amorim took over in October last year, a couple of games, results were good here and there, and by the time the new season started and they lost that first game, won the second one, and I think everybody just moved into the title winning conversation. And that's where, whether you like it or yes, a lot of us will not want to agree that we are sentimental. It's not a bad thing to be sentimental. Trust me. It's you're human. That you prefer some things over some. Right? So, but people see it as when they say you are sentimental towards a particular cause, it makes there's an awkward feeling that comes with no, I don't think that's the case. In this situation, you are looking at a guy who's done so well for the club, who has changed a lot of things, and I think people just want, the moment the manager is doing well, take us back to where we used to be. We are Man United, we should not be ending top 4. We've had this conversation before where I said, whether Carrick takes the job or not, if he ends up Champions League places next season and maybe one of the domestic trophies, we can say, okay, he's consolidated on what he did the season before. But if we now have a case where, because there are too many games and there's pressure to win trophy, and then you go as far as possible in the FA Cup, you go as far as possible in the Capital One Cup, not knowing that you are piling up fixtures, and then you do the same in the Prem where you do 38 games, and then you do the same also in the Champions League. By the time you put all of these things together, you probably will be clocking how many games, and then the wheels could come off. And then people will ask questions about, he does not have the experience. He does not have what is required. That is why. Again, I think also for the kind of team United has assembled, they may not be far from it, but they are not yet there. I don't have anything against the way they have been able to set up, but I think you need to get the right kind of guys now that would help Bruno maximize his prime, what is left of his prime, and see if United can pull off something. Are we going to be stuck in that place where we would raise questions? Somebody pointed something to me some weeks ago to say that in situations where Carrick have had to play games back-to-back in less than 7 days, they've struggled.
Yes.
He said the fitness concern is, this person is a staunch Man United fan, by the way. He said the fitness concerns cannot be ruled out at this point in time where they have maximum time to rest. At a point in time also where in the running for the title, coaches who are in the conversation are complaining about fatigue and how fixtures are piling up. But, of course, that's not a conversation United are having to contend with. But the person pointed out that the 1-1 draw against West Ham United was because we had games in a space of 5 days. He said before then we played one game against, I think, Bournemouth, which was 4-4. and then we played West Ham. He said these draws were not necessary. And then he also pointed out that there was a game United played before the Newcastle game where the gap was not so much. And he said the Newcastle game, despite Newcastle being one man down, United were not assertive enough to have killed off that game when they should have. And, you know, we went back and forth. Again, I'm all for giving him the job if we think he's the guy who can get it done. But my concerns are that we maintain the same level of consistency when we want to call him out. Not that we will hide behind the excuse that, you know that he has to learn on the job. You know that best of the best managers learn on the job. You people will not be forgiving when these things start happening. The sermon a lot of people read about Amorim, including Dave. The sermon you guys read about Amorim, I'm sure you play it back sometimes and it sounds like, I said all these things. Like, you know, go be say, I think he's done an amazing job. But I also do not think this is an emotional conversation. Maybe at the end of the day, work with the coach that's going to come does not sound like a bad idea. I mean, but again, sometimes we will not be able to separate us from our sentiments when people say, okay, he's done enough to be given the job. There I stand. Let's go to the Bundesliga. This one here, Bayern Munich trail 1-0 already. Heidenheim have taken the lead in that game. Yes, Zivzeda, yes, is the man who's put them ahead in the game. It is goalless in the game between Eintracht Frankfurt and Hamburger. But Hoffenheim have given us a 2-1 goal lead against Stuttgart already. Augsburg have taken the lead against Werder Bremen, and the game between Union Berlin and FC Cologne, of course, is still goalless at halftime. Yes, Nantes against Marseille is also goalless, and it's now 5-1 in the game between Villarreal and Levante. Nicolas Pepe just scored the 5th goal for the side. Buchanan did score before him, 3 minutes before him, and Micah, scored his 2nd goal on the night in that game. Moliero has also scored for them. Udinese at halftime they lead against Torino 1-0. Ehizebwe, yes, the scorer in this game. Yes, in that game. Yunnan Yukun against Beijing Guoan is full-time 3-3 the scoreline in the Chinese Super League. Of course, results from all the centers. Now we take you closer to the action, of course, closer than you can get. You can find anywhere else. Yes, of course. Let's go. Of course, to our international partners. Yes, John Kane. We're joining John Kane and his team of reporters. Next, they would take us closer to the action and bring you more on Football Live. The debate continues. Yes, the debate continues. And, of course, if only we have time to, of course, continue. But, yes, we must take you to the games at this point in time and serve you what the games are serving us. Let's take you there. And, yes, Football Live continues as we join our partners in our UK studios. Yes, where the action continues right here on Brilla. Good afternoon.